What would happen? What would happen if we honored students and teachers who excel with the same rewards and recognition that we give to athletes and coaches? Think about the impact we could have. We can all spend time in the school, tutor a child who is struggling to read or to write. We can talk to children about our educational path and how we got to where we are. We can talk about our hopes and dreams and allow them to talk about theirs. We can help students see the connections that can be made between the work we are doing in school on any given day and their hopes and dreams for the future. We must also talk to children about nonviolence. By being involved in their lives in ways we can also create, in this way we can also create hope. And by creating hope, we give children a sense that they have a stake in our society that needs to be protected. That needs to be protected. Now, preparing children also requires that we work to develop their character. The most effective way to do that is by example. The American Heritage Dictionary defines character as moral or ethical strength, integrity, fortitude. In a sense, character is who we are at our very core. It's what determines what we believe and how we respond to any given situation. Character is not something we're born with, nor does it develop automatically. It must be consciously developed. It's also not something that is static. Whether we're 50 or 15, 5 or 75, whether we're a Concordia student, a member of the Rondo community, or a Supreme Court justice, we will be forced to evaluate and renew our character again and again. People of character take responsibility for who they are and what they do. To resist the pressures and temptations that seduce us to make the easy choices rather than the right choices takes a person of character. And it also takes a strong person. I don't mean strong in the sense of physical stature, for physical stature really has nothing to do with character. I do mean strong in the sense of believing that each one of us has an obligation to act in ways that builds rather than diminishes our character and the character of those around us. What does that mean in our daily lives? It means being honest and trustworthy, saying what we mean and meaning what we say. It means keeping our promises. It means playing fairly, telling the truth, making decisions with others in mind, always treating people with respect and respecting ourselves. It means working to figure out the difference between right and wrong and then acting accordingly. The fact that I was once considered to be a great football player or that I am a Supreme Court justice doesn't by itself mean that I am a man of good character. The fact that the color of my skin may be different from yours does not by itself mean that I am not a man of good character. The fact that your language or religion may be different from mine doesn't make either one of our characters better or worse. The outward differences which identify us as individuals do not define the content of our character. Finally, if we are to survive as a society, we're going to have to learn to live in racial harmony. Now, discussions of race are never easy. In part, that's because what one person sees as innocent conduct, another may see as racially motivated. Moreover, even innocent conduct, when it comes to issues of race, can have a racial impact. Sometimes the race card is being openly and blatantly played. Sometimes it's not being played at all. And sometimes it's used as subtle. I would Also note, and this I think is important, we talk a lot about living in a colorblind society. That is what our goal is. That is what we all see. Living in a colorblind society, making bias harder to detect, is not the same as making it go away. And living in a colorblind society should not mean living in a society that is blind to racial injustice. I know that the problems we face, whether we're talking about education, character, or race, can seem overwhelming and sometimes out of control. We tend to assume that these big problems require big solutions. But I believe that the solutions to these problems do exist, and we can get them under control. These are problems caused by people, and the most effective solutions will be found in those of us here this afternoon. People like you, people like me. Some would say no, problems are too big and too complex for one person to impact. I believe that those people are wrong. You don't need to be a Supreme Court justice or even a football hero to make change happen. Everyone here, and I emphasize everyone here, has the ability, the opportunity, and I believe the obligation to make this world a better place. All we have to do is act. Act we must. To paraphrase Dr. King, it is not the evil acts of bad people we should be most concerned about. Those acts can be overcome, but we cannot overcome the inaction of good people. We cannot overcome the inaction of good people. I would like to close with another quote from Dr. King. This one from his letter from a Birmingham jail. What he said is this: let us all hope that the dark clouds of racial prejudice will soon pass away and the deep fog of misunderstanding will be lifted from our fear-drenched communities. And in some not too distant tomorrow, the radiant stars of love and brotherhood will shine over our great nation, all their scintillating beauty. When we put our hearts, minds, and our bodies to the task, especially when we become involved in the lives of the children around us, we can ensure educational opportunity, develop their character, and begin to address the seemingly intractable problems of race. And in the process, we can change the future so that the radiant stars of love and brotherhood will shine